Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Waffles and Whiskey. And we are here on the 15th of February, 2026, the day after VD Day. Did you all get your Valentine's Day? You know what I noticed? I got a bottle of milk the other day, and it even had a date. Say good day to the great man himself. God, he looks like me, doesn't he? I tell you what, it's like we're cut from the same cloth. That man and myself, we must be the degenerates of the deplorables and the misfits, whoever you are. Raise your glass. I've got a nice cup of, in fact, it's not coffee. I've got a shake. In my shake, I've got like protein powder. I've got milk. No, coconut milk. I heard a joke the other day. Let me tell you this joke. Oh, but I just gave it away. I can't tell you it. But what's hairy on the outside and juicy on the inside, it starts with a C, ends in a T, and has a U and an N in it. Coconut. Oh, you dirty, filthy minds. I had to... Cheers, Rudy. Everyone, can you please cheers Rudy for me? How do I get him off? Just for now. Just for a little bit. We'll get you back at the end. You know what gets me is that we have our own Greta Thunberg, and her name is Grace Tame. But I want to slowly get into her. I want to get into her story, because her story, at the surface, should have been made public a lot earlier than what it really was. So I want to talk a little bit about the Grace Tame. And interesting enough, if you have a listen to what the initials Grace Tame GT and Greta Thunberg GT, not that I'm a conspiracy theorist, yes I am. So welcome everyone. I think we always want to know who was first. And it scares me sometimes, because I just go to the top when I asked for Little Man. I asked a question today. It's the first time in my life. I asked the question. I said, where's Little Man going to go today? So first up was Bearcat. And I'm thinking, when I asked the question, thanks Bearcat, when I asked the question of where should we take Little Man around the world, Bearcat writes, the potato factory is moist. So what I thought I might do is that I thought I might actually go to the potato factory, because there is a potato factory in North Korea. Because the second part of the question or answer, I think somebody had written up, and it said, hey, go to North Korea. So I thought, is there a potato factory in North Korea? You got me looking. And so I thought we should go to maps and have a look at the great map of the world and take you to North Korea. And there is a potato factory, and I hearted it. So there is Australia, and North Korea is directly above us. If you didn't know that, you thought it was over here, didn't you? I bet you a lot of people thought it was over there. But it's directly above us. We've got Japan directly above us, and there it is, North Korea. See, I hearted it. Let's go into North Korea. And the thing that gets me about North Korea, I'll start here for a starters, to see if Little Man can go anywhere in North Korea. Look, he can go Seoul, he can go over here, but he can go nowhere in North Korea. Why is that, North Korea? So let's go and see where the potato factory is. Welcome, everyone. It's always good to have you with me on a beautiful Sunday morning. I didn't do the weather. I'll bring up the weather in a minute. Well, let's go into our potato factory. I look like that guy on Instagram who does this and finds stuff. And there is our potato factory. Where are the potato fields? Are these potato fields out here? And there's the potato factory. And I was hoping Little Man could maybe go in here somewhere. Little Man can't go anywhere. So it looks like I've got no view of the potato factory. But there it is. So I thank you so much, Bearcat, for being respectful, which is a first for you. But if you do have... Oh, what's that? What is that? Is that in North Korea also? I think that is Heaven Lake. We must go to Heaven Lake. There's got to be a photo of Heaven. There is. Heaven Lake in North Korea. Let's hang on. We need to have a quick look. Oh, no, that's just hearted it. That did nothing. How do I find... Oh, it's over there. I can't show it to you. Sorry, people. But maybe if you're thinking of going to North Korea at some stage, good luck, because it's there. Oh, shut up. I'm not a producer. Like, I don't even have my sound that is in sync with my voice. Watch. Did that come like 30 seconds later? I'm sorry, people. Somebody just wrote, sorry to bring this to your attention, G-Man, but the audio is a bit glitchy. Oh, no shit, Sherlock. Didn't we just do that? Is it glitchy as in the way it's not synced in? I think that's what it meant, kind of. What was the weather today? Well, we should have a quick look. Ashgrove, where I am, in beautiful Brisbane, my location, 21 degrees, going to be a top of 24 degrees, and it's raining. It's raining cats and dogs. I better watch out because I might step in a poodle. God, it's bad today, isn't it? So anyway, so its sound is in sync but popping. Is that because I think I'm too far away. Tell me, I was told the other week it was popping a little bit because I think I might be a little bit too close. Let me know if that's not popping anymore. The sound is in sync, but it's popping. I like it when it's some clicks. Some clicks. Cracking. A 1-1 in Paris. Flying Dutchman, g'day, David, how you going? Hey, it is. We do have not a lot to get through today, but there are some people who have been asking and saying Gerald, which is my name in German. If you were to say my name in German, it would be Gerald. It's a hard G. So don't call me Gerald, it's Gerald. And to prove that it's Gerald, we are going to show you an image of me. Well, not an image, but I do have this, I have this overwhelming urge to maybe do some mushroom picking. And lo and behold, the Gerald himself, let's have a look at what he says.
Hello, my name is Gerald. I'm single and I'm a 4-time widower. My hobbies are mushroom picking and cooking. If you have the same hobbies what I have and if you're interested, just send me a message and we will see what's happening next.
Send him a message. I want to send him a message. Because I think if I can send him a message, it would be good. I'm just reading some of your comments that are coming through here. They come in thick and fast, and I know there's only 4 people of you that are on here, which is always good. What I want to do now is I want to take you to didn't you have the Super Bowl in the United States of America? I don't even know where it's held. Where was the Super Bowl even held? Well, halftime you had this wonderful artist who came on and he spoke in Latin. I guess. Was it Latin or Spanish or Portuguese? Or was it Brazilian? Or was it Chilean? I have no idea. But I do want to have a look at a little bit of his snippet. And then I found someone online who actually translated what he was saying. And it makes a lot of sense in the way that he was doing it all in Spanish and not in our native language, which is the English, which is when you're moving to the United States of America, you should maybe, speak the language, which is American. If you move here to Australia, and we're going to show you some beautiful Australian people here, it's kind of the same. So let's have a look at the Spring Bowl, Super Bowl. All right, enough of that piece of shit. So let's actually read what his words said from Alexandra Davis. Once again, this is going to ruffle some feathers, but seriously, ask me if I care. For the mums and dads defending the Super Bowl halftime show, if an English-speaking artist stood on that stage and saying, "My dick is being chased and I want you to hide it," she took a pill that made her horny. She fucks in the Audi, not in the Honda. If your boyfriend doesn't eat your ass, he better fuck off. Let the ones I already fucked smile. The Coke is white, the 2CB's pink. She continues. would you still call it empowering, inclusive, or cultural? Or would we suddenly be talking about protecting kids and keeping it family friendly? Language doesn't make it wholesome. Translation doesn't change the content. If this had been performed in English, there would have been outrage. Just something to think about it. And I think, thank you so much, Alexandra, for bringing this to our attention, because it would be exactly right. And with the onset of so much of these Epstein files coming to light, which nothing has happened, the only person that seems to have suffered a little bit would have been Ghislaine Maxwell, and also the Prince of wherever he was, Prince Andrew, whoever he is, whatever he did. So I'm just a little concerned that it's all been swept under the carpet, never let it rise. And this is why the Grace Tame thing, how she's now getting a little bit of notoriety after her, I think it was 2021 Australian of the Year. So we'll have a look at her as we come closer to the story. Before we get going, though, I would like to show you what it's like to be a real man and real women here in Australia, because unless you get to know what it's like to be an Australian, you really don't have I don't know what my words are, but one was sent in by Chef. Thank you, Chef. And he asked me, is this true? I'll show you that in a moment, but let's just have a look at the real men of Australia. And this one here,
what the hell?
is terrific.
Are you alright, buddy?
This is great.
Do you want help?
That's a wallaby, by the way.
Oh,
Stuck in the ocean. Yes, they do swim. They do. That's how they came here. They swam from New Guinea.
you are in the wrong place. Oh, kangaroo.
The guy sounds a bit Kiwi, but I doubt it.
You're probably the first ever surfing kangaroo.
It's not a kangaroo, but still. Real Aussie, look at this. How cool is this?
It's got a stowaway.
Yeah, poor little fella. Probably got caught out in the rip. Tried to swim out. Passed the bill over to his mate.
All right.
Flag.
Okay, you hold it on.
Somebody's just showing you
Yeah.
guys some freaking weird seafood.
You're all. You're all in, little buddy.
Those animals should be hopping, not swimming. Look at this. It warms my little heart.
Well, what the hell?
I've been told lately I haven't had a heart. Here we go, look at this.
Stomach alright? Oh, here's some crap.
He's a bit knackered, that boy.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, it's so cold as fuck.
He's cold as fuck.
It's so weak. Yeah.
Guns on that boy.
The wallaby's thanking her rescuer.
Oh,
Bit of a
that's so
recovery. She was just lying down, just eyes open, but the sun's warmed her up and lovely. A little bubble. This is a message to all wallabies. Wallabies don't paddle. Bye, Kanga. Don't go paddling again. Heat low. Heat up.
That's so cool. Those boys are so cool. Like, seriously, if you're going to be a real bloke and you're coming out in the ocean and you see some stuff like that, those boys are good. That's an Australian. That's what I call a real Aussie. Compared to what we're going to be seeing in a couple of clips' time, they aren't Australian at all. So let's have a look at this one here. This one was sent in by Chef. And by the way, if you are wanting to send me anything, you can just simply go to my email address. It's waffleswhiskey@gmail.com. Or you could, if you like, number 4, you could become part of the exclusive 590 odd members of the Waffles and Whiskey Facebook page. So maybe just join up on that. So we've got that one there. You can send me stuff there, or we can just send me stuff over there. So thank you, Chef, for sending this next clip in. And there's some truth to this, and maybe I should explain it along the way. But if you do get it, if you do get parts of this, maybe put it in the comments and tell me what part of Australia do you think that's in relation to. So let's have a look at this.
He once got stolen by a dingo as a baby. He's never worn shoes on purpose. When he stirs his drink, it always swirls counterclockwise. He tells tourists to watch out for drop bears with a straight face. His ute drives itself to the bottle when it's low on stubbies. He boxes kangaroos in his spare time. His sister is a professional breakdancer. He's never opened a beer with his hands. He has a pet spider the size of a small dog. He greets his nan with, "G'day, you old cunt," and she laughs it off. He says, "No worries, mate," during actual emergencies. He brings his own esky to weddings and funerals. He corrects waiters at restaurants on what a real knife is. He considers 200 miles to be next door. His best man speech ended with a shooey. He reaches for his gun, forgetting he turned his in. He doesn't always cause international incidents, but when he does, he prefers Bali. When he goes to the zookeepers try to tame him. He is the most Aussie bloke in the world.
I don't always drink wine, but when I do, it's from a goddamn sack of goon. Stay true blue, my...
That's true blue. That's a real bloke. And there's a lot of little vignettes in there that would relate very much to the Australian vernacular. Like right at the beginning, he was stolen by a dingo. Well, that's the Azaria Chamberlain doing a shoey. That is quintessential Australian. Having a pet spider as a dog. Having a... You know what I'm talking about. I don't. Somebody just wrote, that's Gerald Mangles. It is. That's so cool. I gotta do one of those myself. But let's then, if that's a real man, but you know, G-Man, what's going on? Where are the real women? Well, I have to show you a G-Man has no pants on. Do I? I know you all want me to stand up, don't you? One day. I keep checking my watch because, you know, the Rude Meister might be just saying, "I can't hear you. You have no sound." Something like that. I don't know why he's Russian now. But real women. We must have a look at what a real woman is. So let's have a look at a real woman.
Croc Dundee, you ready? Watch this. I'm gonna wank your neck. Here we go. Oh, you need to go down. I'm no good at it. Do I need to spit on it?
I mean, how good she said, I don't know if you heard it, but she said, "I'm going to wank his neck." That's true. She's great. I don't know her name, but seriously, you need to look her up and you need to try and find her. I'll see if, the next time I get one, I'll tell you who it is. You know, just like I did with Gerald, the hard G, with no pants on. No pants Sunday. It is. It's, on Sundays, there's no pants Sunday. I hope you realise that. You drink your waffles, you drink your whiskey, you eat your waffles, and you have no pants on. That's as cool as it gets. All right, but now we got to have a look at the Australians who are just combined, men and women together, how weak our society has become when you put them in the police. So when you start to think there's a man wielding a knife, remember the old 92 or 94-year-old lady in the nursing home who had a butter knife in her hand, and then the weak police officer tased her. That's how weak some of us Australians are. And so now we get a collective. I wonder what a collective of police officers are. Swines? Would that be a collective of police officers? The weak ones. Because there are some very good ones. And I must commend the very good officers. But we are going to see now a collective of weak officers who try to disarm a man with a knife. And the person who films this, I think, is great because I think she's sitting in the car and she's going, "Oh, bit of action's going on," and she laughs halfway through it. So let's have a look at some weak police officers trying to disarm a man who is yielding a knife. Wielding or yielding? Is it yielding? Fucking shut up.
Don't you fucking dare! Get on the fucking ground now! Get on the fucking ground! Drop the knife! Hit him! Hit him! Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop the knife!
He says drop the knife, she says drop the knife.
Keep going! Put it down now! Put it down now! Listen to me! Fuck, man. Drop the fucking knife now!
Oh, come on.
Put it down!
How many...
Put the fucking knife down! Drop the knife! Drop the
She laughs. That was funny.
Drop the knife! Drop the knife! Drop it! Get the fucking ground!
Oh, man jumps out of his car. Police officer jumps out of his car to help with the arrest. How many times do you have to say drop the knife, drop the knife, drop the fucking knife? And then the woman behind also says, drop the knife, drop the knife. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I've got a knife in my hand. Drop the knife, drop the fucking knife. Oh, okay. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. I'll drop the knife because, you know, I'm just going to obey your commands there. There were 4 or 5 police officers here. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an expert in de-escalation. Okay, yes, I am. But there has got to be other ways that you could de-escalate that in a heartbeat. Yes, okay, we hit him with a car, but clearly it still didn't take the knife out of his hand. Is there no tactical response to this sort of action that's happening? It's like a game of chess with some of these people. They should be able to corral him and put him down in a hut. Look, I don't know. That's just weak policing. Oh, what did somebody write here? I don't know. Aussie 1970 says something. He just wants to put it into a PowerPoint. I don't know. I do. Taser. Yeah, they don't. I don't know, Debbie 453. I don't know why they don't use the taser when it should be used. Is again, they're holding a gun to the man's chest and they still couldn't. Yeah, Lily Maisie, pepper spray. I don't understand. Look, I don't understand. Pub Test says, what was the punch in the head after his hands were held behind his back? That is always the classic one. If you got to see weak policing at its best, is that we kick the knife away. Did you see how he got his right foot? He kicked the knife away. The man will never make a soccer player, but he kicks the knife away and goes, "Oh, I'm the hero. I hope I'll be on the news tonight." It's dropped the knife, and then he gives him a couple of smackaroos, a little what do they call those? The English kiss or something, or was that a headbutt? And this guy here, the guy was a special and taser, something like that. I don't know what that means. Don't Aussies use tasers? We have got tasers. We have them. We use them. In fact, when do we use them? I hear you ask, big dog. We use them on 94-year-old ladies that are in nursing homes yielding a butter knife. Wielding or yielding? I'm so confused with that word now. I think I'm a muppet. Like seriously, I'm a retard. I am a retard. Are you allowed to say that word? I just did. I'm a retard. It's okay. It's all good. I can call myself that. Oh, it's so hard to do all that. So yeah, weak. So I guess we want to get into the main story, and it's still only early, and all I can do is I can hear this rain in the background, and it's doing my head in. That's what the crackling noise is. Has it gone? Has it gone with the cackling noise on here? I think I was too close to the microphone. Hi, Mike. How are you? We'll soon hear it. G-Man, tasers need to be going. And G-Man, tasers need to be charged, and electricity is too expensive, mate. That's so true. Yeah, we can't afford. What are your power bills like where you are? Here in Australia, unless you have solar, and on a day like this, it's going to be useless. But unless you have solar, electricity bills here is like about $2,000 a year, and that's cheap. That's like if you just got a one bedroom, one bathroom, and you're using cold water to have a shower. Radicat6 says, I remember seeing nets being used to restrain animals. Just a thought. That is actually not a bad idea. I mean, we use kind of nets to pull cars in now? The nets drop down and they slide under the car, and then the net just gets caught up in amongst the wheels. Why can't we use a net? That is a brilliant idea. No harm done. No one gets injured. No feelings are hurt. Oh, his feelings might be hurt. Great idea. Maybe we should patent it. We should patent it, the waffles and whiskey net restraint. Flying Dutchman, 7585. Get rid of your numbers at the end. It's fine. Tell people to stop whining. It's the Liverpool kiss. That's what it is. The headbutt. And then Anime says, I watch a lot of body cam. Nothing surprises me anymore. It's true. Still cackling. We zoned out. Oh, is that what it is? I won't mention it then. Bolo is used carnet is called a grappler. Grappler. That's what it is. Thank you. I've got to learn to read, people. Solar in the US isn't all it's cracked up to be. Delivery fees to offset carbon cost supply. All right. And then we've got this one here. My electricity bill is around 100, but my propane bill is around 250 a month. Wow. And as this person says, that's a lot. I think that is a lot. So let's get into the main story here. So we need to talk about this woman here, GT, Grace Tame. So she was Australian of the Year in 2021 for all the right reasons, I think. But this is what then happens to people who you give a centre stage and then all of a sudden they go cray-cray. So the story, as it goes, is she was groomed by her teacher when she was about 15 years of age. And the guy was convicted, but he wasn't, he was convicted, sentenced and charged and sentenced to serve, I think, a 3-year prison sentence, which isn't a lot for stalking, sexually grooming her, having sexual intercourse. But I think the reason that the prosecutors didn't put up a great case to get him a longer sentence is because the defense had come back and said something like, well, hang on, she was maintaining a relationship. And in the court transcripts, because she was maintaining the relationship after she had been sexually abused, the judge saw that as, oh, well, maybe she had, I don't know. Anyway, the sentencing happened. She then got some person to talk to her about the Let's Speak Out or Let Her Speak campaign. We'll have a look at that in a minute. And subsequently from all that, she fought the courts to say, I want to be able to name my accuser, which I think is we should be able to do. If we can name the victims, why can't we name the accusers? Just like what we're looking now in the Epstein files is a lot of the names have been redacted, and sure, I know we can unredact them and we know who they are. Well, some of them you know who they are, but yet they're still redacted. But yet the victims are the ones who are getting their names reported. So I think she had a great case. Is it worthy of an Australian of the Year? Look, I don't know. I'm not on the panel, but we will have a look at who is on the panel, and maybe you might get a bit of an understanding of who the directors or the board of directors are on the panel of the Australian of the Year shit show is what it is. So that's her. So let's have a quick look at who is Grace Tame as a little 30-second snippet.
Tasmanian laws prevented her from ever sharing her experiences. Grace Tame had to fight to share her story of sexual abuse.
Bravery and the strength of Grace Tame and people like her.
There are gaps in our collective understanding in relation to the insidious process of child grooming and also the importance of speaking out.
Yeah, look, it is the importance of speaking out. And I grant that. I think that's really important, that we should be allowed to speak out and we should be able to name who our abusers are. Otherwise, they get off scot-free, and then what happens is that we're left to pick up the pieces. So I think in this case here, she had a very good case to be able to put forward so that the courts could see, right, okay, this isn't fair. And as a 15-year-old, she fought the courts and she won, and she then became Australian of the Year. So this might give you now a bit of an indication as to who she is and how it all started to go a bit belly up. So this is her now with anal. So it's starting to tell you a little bit about the way that she likes to direct her politics. Because I know when she was awarded the Australian of the Year, she kind of like gave Scott Morrison who was the Prime Minister at that time, a bit of a, stinky eye to the side to go, hey, I don't appreciate who you are. I'm not on your team. But that's another big story about the Liberal overthrow. We got rid of our Liberal leader, Susan Ley, and we've now got another guy. Oh, it's just a mess over here. Come and help us, will you? So that's who she is. So what is all the kerfuffle around why Grace Tame is now making the headlines? Well, there was a protest, and you remember the Bondi shooting that happened about a month ago now, 5 weeks ago, where two gunmen opened fire on a Jewish congregation of people who were just celebrating. What is their national? You know what it is. I don't. I'm a muppet. I'm a monkey that plays one on TV. So what is the big shit about all this? So the Jewish community wanted to invite their leader from Jewish land, from Israel, over to Australia, and then it's like, no, we don't want this person over here. And so what she does, she jumps up on stage. There's a protest. There's about 150 people. I think she calls it 10,000. There's not. There was about 150, maximum 500 people at this protest. And these are the words that she yells out. So I want you to listen closely. You may have heard it here if you're an Australian, but if you're not and you're hearing this for the first time, I'll explain a little bit about what she said, and then we can move on from there. So this is her on stage at the recent protest about a week and a half ago.
From Gadigal to Gaza, Globalise the Intifada.
So she says, if you could hear that, she says from Gadigal to Gaza, let's globalise the Intifada. So, okay, Gadigal. For those people who are living OS, Gadigal is New South Wales, or I think it could be even more so, it could be Sydney. So from Sydney to Gaza, or from New South Wales, I think it's Sydney, isn't it? Help me out here, people. I think it's from Sydney to Gaza, let's globalise the Intifada. So an intifada, as she tries to explain, is just a simple terminology of shaking off. So that could be the Webster's dictionary of the terminology or the phrase of let's globalise the Intifada. But there's more ramifications to this. So once she said that, so the ugliness of the woman now, and she's ugly on the inside, and some people are very ugly on the inside, and beautiful on the outside. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous on the outside, but they hold this dissent and this ugliness and this true horrible, I've got to hurt people, and the only way I can do that is jump on stage with my Australian of the Year. So people have been yelling and screaming to strip her of her Australian of the Year award. Now that can't happen unless the 10 board members of the directors of the board of the Australian of the Year, unless they unanimously, all 10 of them, and we ain't got a hope in hell, all 10 of them decide that, oh yeah, we're going to strip her for what she said. Now, you might think, oh, that's just a phrase, globalise the Intifada because it sounds really good. But she also did mention from the river to the sea, and we know what that means. So let's have a look at what some of the news reports are starting to say. We start off with Channel 7, and this guy here is Chris Reason. He's a veteran of news reading. I think he's more of a crime reporter, but now he's mentioning this. And there's a kind of like undertone of she's just doing, what millions of people are asking for. No, they're not. So Channel 7.
Well, there were comments made here on the steps of Town Hall that have led to calls for Grace Tame to not only be stripped of her Australian of the Year title, but now to face prosecution for hate speech. 31-year-old Tame addressed a crowd estimated at 5,000 on Monday evening, calling the visiting Israeli President Isaac Herzog a war criminal and inciter of genocide, and Israel a fascist state. But it was her use of the following words that enraged many.
Say it with me, from Gadigal to Gaza, globalise the Intifada.
She also used the phrase, from the river to the sea, words interpreted by many to mean the destruction of Israel. It sparked outrage from some.
People will be will, on the premise of their religion, of their race, they will be murdered. And is that what you want, Grace Tame?
She should be prosecuted for inciting violence and hate towards our Jewish community.
I think it's extremely dangerous, and I think that's why these people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Israeli groups also appalled, calling the comments and the anger with which they were delivered insightful to violence and completely inappropriate in the wake of the Bondi massacre. No recipient has ever been stripped of the Australian of the Year award. It's a decision that can only be made by the 10-member board of the National Australia Day Council. Tame has so far refused interviews, but in a statement accuses her critics of using the comments to deflect from the real story, the war in Gaza. Technically, neither phrase is illegal here in New South Wales, but Queensland is set to become the first state to outlaw them both with penalties of up to 2 years in jail.
Yeah, it's interesting here in Australia. We don't have. Hang on, let me just turn that off. We don't have freedom of speech. We just don't. You know, you think that I got back on here in early January because we've lifted the laws on what G-Man is allowed to say. No, we don't have any. And I think where some of you good people are in the US, you do have that freedom of speech. We may have what we call freedom of expression, but when it comes to politics, so she may be exonerated there in what she said. So Globalise the Intifada you can't just grab a phrase and say legally that was inciting violence, but that's what the courts will say, or that's what the lawyers will say, and that's what they'll probably sell to you, is that you can't grab that phrase and, globalise the Intifada. And she was being vitriol. She was trying to, rid all people of that religion, of shaking them off is the term that she uses, because that's what it is. So I guess if we're trying to think that, legally, that we're allowed to say, hey, I wasn't intentionally inciting violence, then we could probably get away with a lot here. We could probably say a lot. And I could say to my lawyer, hey, I wasn't intentionally doing that. It's just a phrase. It's settled down, everyone. Like, God, take a chill pill. What's wrong with you people? So let's have a look at, now, Shari Markson is a Sky News presenter, and I think she's great. Her father, in fact, is Max Markson, who is a bit of a celebrity, what would you call, marketeer. So he gets the worst. So you remember Chick Chick Boom? Remember her? Or, what's the other one? Corey with the glasses. I'm not on today. I'm not. I've had a bad night. It was Valentine's Day last night, and I only went out with my bottle of milk because it had a date, and I thought, you and me, we'll go out together. So let's have a look at what Sky News with Shari Markson, what she said. So she's interviewing some lefty pillock.
The victims of the Bondi terror attack wanted him here and they wanted his comfort. To hear then a former Australian of the Year lead chants of Globalise the Intifada, that's what the Jewish community said was in part the reason that we're allowed to see these Islamic extremists do what they did in Bondi. Do you accept that?
I don't. I feel strongly, if I may finish, that
we didn't interrupt.
This was entirely foreseeable that we would have unrest. It is essential that protesters respect the law. But in instances where you have police excessive force used, that also must be investigated. But this situation was entirely
Globalise the
let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. Let me finish. Again, it is entirely foreseeable that Jewish Australians feel strongly and feel incredibly vulnerable in this situation. But Palestinian Australians are also feeling incredibly angry and hurt at the continued killing of innocent civilian lives. We cannot, I'm sorry, you cannot disconnect the actions of the State of Israel. Right. And President Herzog is the president of that state.
Grace Tame isn't a Palestinian Australian. She's an Australian of the Year, Zali.
And Laura, we have freedom of speech in Australia. She is entitled to
we also
express
have hate
her
speech
view.
laws now.
I do not agree. We do, and those hate speech laws go to if you are urging or encouraging harm to be brought upon Australians, that is what the hate speech is.
If you are encouraging hurt or harm, can someone with my little pea brain maybe spell out for me how that phrase isn't meant to hurt or harm? So, and yeah, it was Laura. Apologies. Admonish me. Admonish. Been watching way too much of Stephen Crowder. Admonish. Tell me how that is, or that isn't. So, it seems like that just about everything that the political party is trying to do, which is to introduce these hate speech laws, it only works or suits them when it suits them. But of course, when you have an Australian of the Year who should be more upstanding, you should have a better quality of person. And I think somebody wrote here, if I can bring up a couple of comments there, let me have a look here. This comment here is, grace tame is what happens when you give somebody amplification because of past trauma without consideration of good character. Boom, boom. And then this one here says, Grace Tame is a grub. Simple as that. Her Australian of the Year title must be revoked. She is a very nasty punk of a woman. I think he wanted to say more, but I think he kept himself a little bit clean in saying that. And those two comments there kind of like epitomizes what the left is doing and how they're trying to undermine the millions of other people who just want to be conservative enough to be able to go about their day. Sure, she deserved the Australian of the Year, but the platform now that she uses it for is totally against why she even got the award in the end. Look, all I can say is for now, hang on, I just want to put this up. Yeah, I think we all know what that means. I think. Some of you don't, but if you do, you might have to. Somebody wrote here, yes, it's true, my comments are being removed. Just to give you a heads up, I know when I went into the site itself, in the studio, I did see that some of these have been flagged for comments. So maybe you might have to put an asterisk, or you might have to put an @ symbol or something, because I know it has been removed. Is hate speech something that someone says that offends me? Yeah, hate speech is a feely. You say something and I feel like that you have hurted me. So it's as simple as that. Yes, comments are being censored. Use different words for same stuff. Yeah, pretty much. And as Lily Maisie said, it's very nasty. She's very nasty. And yeah, thank you for the thumbs up too. Something like that. So let's have a look at, she then put out an apology. And we'll have to have a listen to the 3-minute apology here because I've got plenty of time left. Normally I just cut it short and just get on with the show. But let's have a listen to the 2.5-minute, 3-minute apology. But I want you to listen closely to how the pedal back is. So from that horrible, ugly person on the inside who just spewed hatred and nastiness and harm to innocent people who have got nothing to do with anything else but wanting to get on with their day. How she wanted to place harm on them. And so now we get this apology because, hey, this wasn't, I thought I would get more support, but it seems like there's not getting a lot of support. So let's have a listen to her pathetic apology, which is what they all do, isn't it? It's everyone. Did I ever do an apology? I think I did one day.
We learned that nearly 3,000 Palestinians have been evaporated by Israel using illegal US weapons. But instead of focusing on that, our political and media classes are trying to distract the masses by focusing on words that I said at a peaceful protest on Monday night in Sydney. Disingenuously distorting definitions has been a cornerstone of Israel's propaganda strategy for decades. Choosing to put a negative spin on the word intifada, which literally means shaking off.
See, well, let's just hold it there. You're distorting the word. So intifada, which literally means shaking off. So describe for me what you meant by that, the shaking off. Because I know if I have dust on my carpet, I want to shake it off. To what? To get rid of the dust. If I have, I don't know, I've been to the beach and I shake off the sand. Bad analogy, but I don't have any others. And if you've got one for me, I'll read it. But if the shaking off is to remove or get rid of. So I wonder what her terminology would be. Miss Tame. Let's continue.
Is just another example of that. But I am not the story. The story is that on Monday night, tens of thousands of peaceful protesters gathered to decry the arrival of Israel's President, Isaac Herzog, who himself stands credibly accused of war crimes, including inciting genocide and advocating collective punishment, a man who signed his name on bombs that were used to kill men, women and children in Gaza.
So what's your solution? So fight fire with fire. And we know sometimes war is good. It is. Not in the sense that you're thinking that we do another Hiroshima or Nagasaki. Is that what I said? Not in those senses. But sometimes we need to go in to do some peacekeeping. And sometimes you need to rid bad people of the hatred that they're doing. So I'm trying to understand what her goal is. What is her goal? To remove the people of Israel? Is that the goal? And as Daffodil wrote up here, what? What does Australia, let me just bring it up again. But what does Australia have to do with Palestinians that are not in Australia? And I keep wondering that myself. It's not my war. It's not, I didn't create it. I didn't do it. I didn't make a part of it. Why would I want to fight for someone that's doing something except to keep the peace? But would I remove and get rid of? It's all too hard. Let's just continue. I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore.
The non-violent attendees of these protests were met with unprovoked police brutality. Our leaders go on about social cohesion. What's a better example of social cohesion than tens of thousands of people from many and diverse backgrounds gathering, united in the pursuit of humanity? This has been a trend for years and years and years. The only thing that has changed, that is actively disrupting social cohesion, is the overreach of state powers, which we all saw footage of from Monday night. If the media had accurately reported on this context, we wouldn't be here. The big issue at hand is that the rogue apartheid state of Israel stands credibly accused of committing genocide in Gaza after over 2 years of the slaughter of innocent civilians. The only parties to have faced punishment are the victims themselves and critics of the state. This has to change. It is time for the political and media classes to prosecute the state of Israel and not focus on individual dissidents and people fighting for justice and humanity.
I think, Daffodil, I think you're right in saying this. I might bring it on the bigger screen. Daffodil says, hang on, I need to get rid of that. Oh, God. There we go. You are uttering hate speech towards another human being. Shouldn't you be arrested for that too? There's a disconnect between your hate speech and my hate speech. What I'm doing here today is probably going to be considered hate speech, because what I'm saying is that she's just a horrible, vile, ugly woman on the inside who's spewing all this nonsense. So yes, but will she ever be arrested or held to account? No. They don't hold people on the left to account. Have a look at what's going on around the world. If you want to be in a safe space, just go left. Just hang to the left and you will be protected because you become one of those protected species. I just don't know what's happening in our country. And I don't know what's happening in anyone's country around the world. It's just getting evil. And yes, this one is good. There's evil in her eyes. And also, I'm not one to mock, but she doesn't have a top lip. She has juju lips. A bit like me. I don't have a top lip. I have my father's lips, and he wants them back. She sounds like a commie. She is a commie. Make no mistake. There's no innocence in there. Dogwash says, sorry. Sorry. I am still not hearing an apology. Just self-congratulation. 100%. But that was her. That is how the people who apologise on a platform like this. This is their MO. This is what they do. They know that all I have to do is spew more speech, and then everyone will go, "Oh, that's just fantastic." We've got to have a look at her Australia of the Year award speech. What she said there. But as you know, I always have the real speech, not the fake one that some of these AI people are putting up. There's a lot of AI shit that's going on. And the first one that I'll show you in a moment is fully AI. And then what I'll show you is because I get hold of the original clips because you good people and not so good people send them to me. A couple of more comments is true, Lily. So Lily said something. So true, Lily. What did Lily say? This is what Lily says. Where is her outrage for what is happening to Iran? 100%. Where is the outrage of what happened to the Israelites? What happened? How did it all start? Should we not go back to that day and maybe revisit history and play history out as to what brought this atrocity about? And it certainly wasn't you or I. The safe, is it you or me? Or you or I? It's I or me. I think it's I. Let's stay with that. The safe space. Is there a no square? Oh, I had a brilliant one. I found an Indian one. There's another Indian one that's doing one. So not only do we have the, oh, don't touch me there. I've got to find it. If somebody can find it and send it to either the Facebook page or send it there or send it here. Wrong one. Send it here. Here. If you send it to me here, I'll play it next week. Like seriously, because I'm that sort of a guy. I'll do anything. There is no square. All right, never forget. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Just never forget. And can you do the no square? Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no square. You want me to get up and walk away, don't you? I know you do. It's no pants Sunday. It's as clean as that. It's how it works. It's a Sunday. Me. Thanks, Peter Bronx. Is it you or me, or you and I? It's me. You and me. Me? No, it's I. If I say you and me, that would mean me it's I. I'm sticking with I. Dogwash. No, Collie says, is Collie and Dogwash the same person? Do it again. You do it. Dogwash. I've got to stop with this. It's just getting silly. Useful idiots are global now. Debbie Steyer says, I love that no square shit. Everyone does. I've got to play it. I've got to bring it on. It's going to be one of my favourites. And that's from the Netherlands. That's where you come from, Daffodil. Out that way. That's your country, people. Oh, we've got 6 minutes left. So let's have a look at what the people on YouTube are doing. So I'm just bringing this up. So Grace Tame ignorantly defines herself as disgusting. She does. Yeah, Grace Tame, enough is enough. Erin Molan, the one underneath that, not on my watch. Yep, if she can do this on our streets, Australia, we do have a decision to make. Douglas Murray even got into the picture about this woman here. Yep, she is our Grace Tame. This one here, this is the one that I played for us all. We had a look at that. And look, it just goes on and on and on about how we just want to remove this person from having the the Australian of the Year award. She should not have been offered that. Well, she obviously deserved. I will say that. I'm gracious where graciousness is grace is due, and she absolutely deserved it. I think it's a great thing that Australians stood up, and we now can prosecute people or not be prosecuted if we name our accusers. We should be able to do that. So let's now have a look, listen to her speech, which is AI generated, and then I want to show you the real speech. So this is the AI generated speech. It's only I'll cut it off halfway.
Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional owners of this land. There are still voices yet to be heard.
Didn't get
Prime Minister, fellow nominees, Mum, Dad, Oscar,
who's Oscar?
The rest of my family and friends.
Just the cat.
Max.
Is that
Let
Max?
her speak. Creator, Nina Fennell, the campaign partners and the 16 other brave campaign survivors. Thank you. All.
Thank you. It's so pathetic sometimes. But like I said, people, you cannot rely on AI because that wasn't the original clip. So let me show you the original clip, her on her speech, and then you'll get to understand is why she's like she is.
Australia for this award. As Australian of the Year, I promise that one day soon I will spit this back in your face and show the whole country just what an angry, treasonous, Australia-hating little cunt I really am. Thank you.
If you always want to know where you get the real words from, that's from me. So, but you're saying, but G-Man, I heard you say, oh no, I don't even know what number it is now. I think it's that one up there. Hang on, just wait for me a second. We've got to know who the people of the corn, Australia of the Year. I think that's it there. Let me have a look. These are the people who are on the board of the Australian of the Year. He might pass. This guy, he's a musician. He might pass. Nah, not going to pass. No, she's going to go. No, she stays. She'll say, no, she stays. She must stay. He says, oh, maybe not. She's going to say for sure she stays. She stays. This one here is a proud, one of the 350,000 tribes, proud woman. Let me just go back on one of those. If I go back onto bang this, go back. Her, that's Anna Mans. Remember Anna Mans? I think she might be a go back. Stop your producer. I have a producer. Just can you slow down a little bit? What the hell's going on with you, man? Like seriously, Anna Mans was one of Australia's greatest cyclists. Big thighs. Whoo, I love those thighs. Slappity, slappity, slappity. That's all I have. We need to show you one more thing. Let's get rid of her. Oh, I can't. I don't know where to go. Thank you. So we got 1 minute left, and I never want us to forget. It doesn't even fit into the narrative of what we're talking about here today at all. At all. But I just want you to never, ever forget back in 2020, and I'm listening to, on audiobooks, I'm listening to The Deception that was written by Rand Paul. Listening to that. And it's The Deception, the Anthony Fauci and the Cheney virus. Cheney. And I'm only up to chapter 2. Whew, it's 13 hours. I think I'm only gone a half hour into it, and I'm like riveted. Because I'm listening to when I'm in the car. Or the bike. Something like that. So let's have a look at this. Never forget. And this was interesting. And why Australians didn't take note of the first Australian person to be vaccinated. Why we didn't just take notes, take a stand back and just go, whoa, whoa, whoa. What just happened there live on TV?
And I am the manager in CCU. For my team, we are in the COVID unit, so therefore, my team will be getting first chances to get the vaccine. And I know that it's really... I'm sorry, I'm feeling really dizzy. I'm sorry.
We saw plenty of those happening from right around the world, but when you see it firsthand happen here in Australia, why there wasn't like, hang on a minute, the first vaccines have been rolled out and this brave and stunning young nurse gets up there and, oh, it was just a coincidence. No, because you know it was head trauma from when she was a little girl, when she got kicked in the head, and all of a sudden all the memories came flooding back, and all she could remember of when she had that needle, when because she kicked a stone and got hepatitis, and then she got rabies because she got bitten by a rat, and we got a needle and it gave her trauma, and she remembered that, and she just collapsed. Come on, what happened to us as a society? And I don't like the red behind me. It's off-putting. It's like fire. Maybe I'm on fire today. I've got 1 minute left and I've got to go. Thank you, people. I'm out. See you, bye.
The thing now. What are you waiting for? Go!